Okay, this morning I'm going to be making Lard Lye soap again. And if you watched my other Lard Lye soap video, you saw that I added some soap cubes of a different soap. Well, it was the same soap, but I had super fatted it, and it changed the color of my Lard Lye soap. So I had to readjust, and I ended up making it into a different soap because I want my Lard Lye soap to be white. So I'm doing this again, and I've got 3 batches going again. I'm only going to show you one batch at a time. And I'm only going to show you one batch. I'm not going to show you me doing all 3 of them. So this is the 78 ounces of lard in the pot, heated up, ready to go. This is my lye water, already mixed, cooled down, and ready to go. So I'm going to pour that in. And I did have someone made a comment that if you add some glycerin to your lye water, it will help it trace faster. But I had already fixed my lye water, already had it ready, waiting, so I can't subtract the amount of water and go back and add more glycerin to it. So I can't do this batch, but I am going to try that. I have done that for liquid soap, where you use the glycerin for all of the water, and it traces really, really quickly. I never thought of doing that for the bars of soap, but I am going to try it. Not sure how much I'll add in. My thing is, I don't want to raise the cost of my soap any more than I have to. So by adding a bunch of glycerin, it's going to, it's going to increase what I have in the soap as far as money wise. And so I don't want to add an extra amount of money to the soap if I can help it. But I am going to try it. I'm going to see what small amount I can use to get by with it. But if you don't mind stick blending, it really doesn't take that long. If you just stick blend it and then just close the lid and let it do its thing. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this one started. You can try to get out of your way. And my camcorder's on charge, so I'm having to keep it in one spot. I'm actually going to Now this one is emulsified. All the oils are mixed in. So really, I'm gonna stop with this one and just let it go ahead through the trace process itself. I'm not gonna sit there and blend it. And sometimes I blend it so that it gets to the trace stage, so you can see how it does when it traces. But it will just become thick. It will pile up on, when you lift it up, it'll make little piles on the top, and then I'll know it's at trace. I'm going to go ahead and let this one start cooking. I'm going to get these 2 just emulsified. I'm going to put the lids on them, and then I'll bring you back when it's ready, when it's time for me to stir them. Okay, I'm ready to stir the soap for the first time. I didn't come back and do anything to it. I just kind of left it cooking, and you can see that it went right into trace, so I didn't have to continue stick blending it. It's already starting to turn translucent on the top. So I'm going to give it a nice stir, and I should have been in here earlier and stirred it, but I didn't. We had breakfast, and so I'm going to scrape the sides, get it all off. This soap will be white, so the white chunks will, from the dried out soap, will just blend right in with the rest of it. Make sure I get it all off. And if you see, I just kind of scrape it on the spoon. Make sure I got it out of the corners and off the bottom. Okay. One last stir around the edge. I am going to break that big piece up some. And that's from not stirring it as much as I needed to. Off, get it back down there. And then I'm going to go on and stir the rest of it. And then I'll bring you back in probably 30 or about 30 minutes. Okay, I'm back. It's been at least 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and give this a nice stir. For some reason, it seems that the pot's getting hotter than normal. I'm not sure. So I left the lid cracked, and it still seems to be getting really, really dry around the edges. And I'm probably not stirring it as much as I should because I hate to keep having to videotape it. So I'm going to go ahead and just stir this one, and I think I'm going to cut it down on warm, because I cracked the lids like this to let some of the heat out, but it's drying out on the top. So I really don't want to crack the lids, so I think I'm going to just try to put it on low. I know I had one of these that just really always got hot, and I can't remember which one is even my new one. It looks like this one is my new one, so I'm not sure about that, but I'm going to, I have it on warm. I'm going to go ahead and turn all of them on warm. Just let's kind of see how that works. I'm not going to make you watch me stir all of them, but I already have my two of my molds ready here. As I'm cutting soap from over there, I'm hoping you can see that mold over there. I had 3 of them, but as I'm taking those loaves out and slicing them and putting them on the shelf, I'm bringing the loaves back over here and going ahead and getting the liners in them and having them ready, so that when this is ready, I'll be ready to put it in the mold. So I'll bring you back when it's time to pour it in the mold. Okay, this video is of me finishing up the lard soap bars that are actually turning out okay this time. What I'm doing is I'm finishing up stirring them. I'm trying to find my little pieces. These molds right here, the liners, I have a hard time keeping them apart once I've used them a couple times of this certain one. So I do have a different shelf liner that I'm going to try. But for now, and I need to make sure I push it down in there far enough before I stick it on there. I'm just using these to hold it apart while I pour it in. My daughter helps me sometimes, and she holds this like that for me, but she's in there with her brother. So I've let it cool down a little bit. I'm not adding anything extra to this soap, so I'm going to go ahead and just give it a stir. I didn't let it cool much because I still want it nice and fluid. Okay, now I'm going to, I take a towel like this, and I kind of just hoop it on my hip, hold it up like this, grab this, get it close enough to me. Grab it up and put it on my hip quickly and hold it with a towel. And then it's not burning my hip and it's not burning my hand. Hope you can see this. I'm going to turn it that way a little bit. Okay. So now what I do is I just had some in all the way down. Some people spoon. I pour until I have to spoon. And I just kind of get some going in the bottom, and that way the hot, ooh, burn my hand. The hot soap will be on top to keep it from getting all crispy. And I'm going to slide that down because you can see those are kind of sticking out. Just going to keep pushing it down like that. Just take it and push it down. Don't want to lose my stick. And I'm going to throw this this liner away after I do this mold. I'm not going to keep it anymore because I'm tired of it, of me having a hard time molding it. But this is the second time I've attempted to do this 3 batches of this Lard soap in the last couple days. Yesterday I had a botched batch, so if you want to go back and watch that video and what happened and how I was able to save it. And I made this soap a bunch of times now, but that was just what happened yesterday was my fault, but I learned a lesson. And then now I'm going to start just scooping it. Oops. And if I get some in there, I just push it back out like that. Like I said, this is plain Lard Lye soap. No fragrance, no coconut, no super fats, no oatmeal, just plain soap. This is like the old-timey fashioned soap that like great grandmas used to use to wash their clothes and things. And actually a lot of this soap, that's who buys it, is people that are willing to either wash with it because they're used to washing with the lye, plain lye Lard soap, or either they wash their clothes with it. Have a lot of people that grind it up, and I don't want to say older people because I'm really not sure. I just know that where I sell it at, that's what they say they use it for. So what I do is I get out what I can, even if it's dry looking, I get it out. Now if my soap has oatmeal in it and I have a bunch of white clumps in the bottom, I don't get all that out because I don't want all those white clumps in my soap. But this soap will be white anyway. So I go ahead and get out what I can and just kind of put it on there, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it under. Go ahead and clean this off because I'm done with this. Get every bit that I can, scrape off with this spatula, the silicone spatula. Okay, put that in the sink. Then I will kind of clean that up a little, not a whole lot, but a little. Okay, lay that there. And make sure I kind of make sure there's soap everywhere, and I try to get out any soap that ended up in between. And I want it even, so I kind of push it down to the end. Try to make it as even as possible. Now I will finish evening this out in a minute, but alright, now I have all those little crunchy things on top. I don't want those on the top, so what I do is I turn them over down into the hot soap. And they'll heat back up because I'm going to put some, well, it's like saran wrap, but I just use a plastic bag and I just put it across the top of my batches, cover it, smash it down real good to make sure it's even on the top, and then I put a towel across the top so it keeps in some heat so it'll even itself back out, and it can kind of cool off at an even rate. But now some people don't do that. Some people are like, well, I don't cover mine. Why do you cover it? I don't wrap it. And that's just, and I tried not doing it. I tried doing it without it. But I guess we're creatures of habit. I just kind of kept coming back to doing it with it. So I just do it. I didn't have any problems when I wasn't doing it. Other than I felt like the top was drying out way too fast. Which I'm not really sure that that matters, but through with that, I'm gonna put it down here on the floor and just bang it a couple times. I do that to get the air bubbles out. I'm gonna take it over here and then I'll bring you with me. Okay. Alright, I'm over here where the soap is. What I do is I put them all three together. Take the bag and just kind of make sure it's straight. Take my hands and just kind of even it, and you can feel if you have like a lump, just kind of even it out. Make sure it's up in the corners. I don't want any high places over here and low places over here. I want it to kind of be even. Woo, and it's hot. Looks like some needs to go up in that corner. Okay, so that's that. Then I take an old towel, a clean old towel I'm going to add, but one that just I've retired, I'm not using anymore. Put it across the top. And then I will let these sit either tonight. Coconut oil, the lard soap, I'll probably let it sit until in the morning, and then I'll have to slice it. But I'll let it sit there, won't bother it at all until I'm ready to cut it tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment. And please watch the ads. It helps me out. Thanks. Have a great day.